Today, we're getting the insights from a video game music composer and sound designer, Viktor Kraus from Germany. Hey, Victor, thanks for joining.
Hey, so nice of you to have me here.
When I was going through your feed when I first found you, one of the things that stood out was how you had like a black death metal screaming right behind a serene village theme. And I was curious where this diverse inspiration comes from.
I like when I was a teen, up to a certain point, I was like a really hard die metal fan, die hard metal fan. That's the way it is around. And I had a guitar teacher, and that guitar teacher really like opened up my eyes for all types of music stuff. And since then, like I became more diverse and spread it into more different genres, just like for listening. And now it's just also that I just do very different things. So shout out to my guitar teacher um, for doing that. Yeah, that was very that really opened my eyes and my ears and stuff.
I see a lot of guitars behind you. Do you play other
Yes,
instruments too?
I do. Like this is actually a mandolin. There's a bass behind me, and then there's an Irish, Greek Irish instrument. The bouzouki. I mean, those are all stringed instruments, so they kind of play the same to a certain degree. Um, and like piano. Piano is a big one too.
You know, I,
Yeah.
I started playing violin and then
Oh,
guitar,
awesome.
and I bought a mandolin once, kind of blind, not knowing much about it.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's basically a guitar and a violin have a baby.
Yeah, it's the same tuning, right?
Yeah, it's tuned. The strings are tuned just like a violin, except it's got frets. So it was actually very easy to pick up with those two
Ah,
things.
nice. Do you still play the mandolin?
I don't play the mandolin very much. I actually have it right here too. It's just like a cheap Ibanez one, and
Ah, okay,
it's just
nice.
kind of gathering dust now. But I do have a, I've got a Fender violin and electric violin that I keep
That's
too.
awesome. Yeah.
Um, so your keyboard is? Are you as proficient with the keyboard too, or are you
No.
mostly comfortable on the guitar?
I'm much better at the guitar. But I still have this curse, and you might notice also as a composer yourself, that you come up with an idea that is too hard to play for yourself. And like I have the problem with a guitar part right now, actually, that I've been practicing for all week, and now I'm gonna like try to record it next Friday, because it's very tricky. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like I can play guitar, but I still come up with ideas that are too hard for me to play.
I also noticed some folk metal in your feed too, and it really made me think of this band called Korpiklani. Do you know them?
Oh, they're like a Finnish band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I listened to them more when I was a teenager, but I think they're pretty great.
So with your music, are you doing music full time or is it a part time thing for you?
I'm doing it full time. Yeah, I'm working at this company called Beeswax Games, and we're like working on a game right now called No Players Online, which is like a horror thing. We like made a jam version of it like a couple of years ago, and it kind of blew up. And now we're making like Markiplier, I think, played it, and it was on Game Grumps. And now we're making like a big version of it that's more official. And now that we all know a little bit better what we're doing and stuff like that.
Are you doing the music and the sound effects?
I'm doing the music. A friend of mine helps me. He goes online by Boy with a Balloon, and there's like some classical, uh, like uh, classical styled pieces in there, like some Baroque pieces. And he's way better at that than me, so I let him do that, and stuff like that. So we both got our strengths, and like I'm a little bit better, I think, at making horror soundscapes and stuff like that. Mm, yeah, but it's like it's not for lack of trying. Um, like as I said earlier, like there's so much cool music, and I want to kind of try it at least out, all of them, um, and like check out what you can do with different things and stuff.
Aside from your guitar teacher, did you have other formal music education?
Yes. So in Germany, you can like when you go in a certain part of and into a certain grade, you can like pick your um, I gotta look up that word real quickly.
A specialty?
Oh yeah, thank you. A specialty, exactly. Yeah. So I picked music for that, with like two other things as well. And like I learned a lot about like voice leading and like using chords and stuff like that, and using modes and things like that. I mean, I also learned like a lot of that with with my guitar teacher, and I also had a piano teacher. And when I was studying sociology, um, I also did some music classes in the university where I was at, like music science classes. Also, again, like how to do voice leading, and like it exposed me to like some other composers that I hadn't heard of before, like Bela Bartok or Schönberg, like more like modern stuff, or relatively speaking modern, turn of the century kind of, that kind of deal. I also have like right now a jazz teacher, and she goes by M. Gewehr, as well as like a teacher who teaches me how to scream and stuff, which you saw first. And he goes by Sibylla Extreme Vocals. So those are the two people that I still am taking lessons from right now, formally. I mean, like with friends and stuff like that, we just exchange ideas and theories and stuff like that about how things work and so on.
If somebody was just starting to learn music composition, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah. I like, it's probably like a smart idea to start with learning how chords work. And then um, the thing that really helped me, but I don't know how helpful it is for a beginner, is analyzing pieces by other composers that I liked, and like putting them under the microscope, and like seeing, oh, there's this part and then there's this part, and they are related like that, they sound kind of alike, but they still do something different and stuff like that. That can make like a, like open up your ears kind of. Like a very basic example is that you like have an idea, and like da 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 da, and then it goes da 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 da, like very very similar building blocks that make something up differently than yeah, stuff like that.
With your guitar playing, do you ever just jam out with friends and do much improvising?
I did more of that back in the day. um, Now my friends are all like all over the world, and not technically based in the same city as I am. But I love doing that, and when I get the chance to, um, I actually started like searching out backing tracks and stuff, and like playing to that kind of thing. Especially with like guitar, like I found some really cool power metal backing tracks that you can play with and stuff like that, and get your chops together and stuff. Yeah, but like music making, I don't know how it is for you, but I feel like it has changed a lot with the internet, and now you can collaborate with a lot of different people and a lot of different things. You just like gotta coordinate time zones and stuff like that, but then you can send each other stems and all that kind of a thing. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm kind of similar here. Where, like when I was
Yeah.
in high school and college and around more people, I jammed out a lot more. And
Mhm.
then I kind of went down the same road. I was making backing tracks and jamming over them myself and
Ah,
sharing them too.
that's a cool thing to do. Yeah. What is your preferred instrument to jam on?
These days, it's a Rolly Seaboard, if you know what that is.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Okay, I actually have it right here. I can show you
Oh,
real
is that
quick. And
like you can like press and it goes? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like a rubber fretless piano is the
So
best way to
cool.
describe it. And
You can
as a
like do
string
vibrato
player,
on it and stuff.
exactly, and you
Yeah.
can slide around and stuff and do like the pressure swells and stuff. So it gives you the kind of expression of a string instrument, which is why I love it.
Yeah, I think I played one in like a music store once, and it was really cool. Yeah. Especially if you're a string player, right? Like that's always missing. I like when I play piano, I usually still do this kind of thing. Yeah. You know how it is.
When it comes to finding work, do you have any strategies you use there?
Um I mean, like, I just reached out to people whose work I found interesting and asked them to jam, like on game jams and stuff like that. And that worked out for me, like getting like a kind of a network up, and like game jams are just a lot of fun. So like it's good to do them either way, kind of. Um, But like, I would recommend just doing a lot of game jams and stuff like that.
You said that's how you developed the relationship with Beeswax Games.
Yeah, like the co-founder Adam Puper, I think is his name pronounced. He's from Belgium, and like I got to know him before he finished school, and yeah, we were like on the same small game development server, which I got into through another friend. And then I like saw, oh wow, this guy's really talented. He has a huge amount of potential and stuff like that. So I just asked him if he wanted to do something together sometime, and he was down for it. And so that's how our relationship kind of started. Yeah.
How many games have you done with him?
Oh god, I don't know actually. We made so many small games. Um, This is our second big game. The one we did before that was called Spookware. I was kind of like a spooky version of WarioWare. Um, yeah, and now we're doing No Players Online.
What software do you use mostly?
I mostly use Reaper. Have you heard of Reaper?
Yes.
Do you also use it, or
No, I don't.
what do you
How
use?
I started with FL Studio and now I mostly use Logic.
Ah, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted your question.
Oh, so along the same lines, what about plugins and VSTs? Do you have some of those that you use the most?
I mean, I use like Contact the most for like sample library stuff. You're nodding in with knowledge.
Yeah, Contact is it's one of the best for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. It's really cool. Um, I use like a lot for some stuff. I usually use Serum right now. I think they like dropped Serum 2 just the other day. Um, I guess still gotta get to checking that out. And for like guitar stuff, I mainly use Neural DSP stuff, but also uh, TSL Tonality, I think, is the company called with Howard Benson. They made a plugin with Howard Benson, and that one has like a lot of cool amps in it and stuff. It's like 5 amps, which is you could always have more than that, but I think it's better to have 5 really good amps than 20 that are not that great. Because like with this limitless kind of environment, it's much harder to make choices, I feel like. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Serum 2 is a free download if you own the first version.
Yes. Really cool of them to do it that way.
What about sound effects? Are there any plugins that you use for those?
I mean, also mostly Serum. And I also use like a bunch of FM8 for it. And like Kilohertz put out like a bundle with free VST effects and stuff like that. Those I tend to use a lot. I recently gotten a FabFilter, like a FabFilter suite where they like put in a bunch of stuff, but I still like gotta really get in there and find my way around it and stuff like that.
What about hardware? You mentioned a keyboard. What kind of keyboard do you have?
I have an MPkey 261 from, wait, I'm gonna look it up. By Akai. I hope I don't mispronounce that. Yeah, and like I started on this here, which is still comes in handy for like doing sound design because like I can my piano is to the right of me, so I play on it and then I can adjust the sound and play on it and adjust the sound, and it's much faster to have like the keyboard in front of me. Yeah, so that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. I'm also using Omnisphere a lot these days.
Ah, that's a classic one too.
That's a classic one, yeah.
Have you ever tried making your own contact instruments?
Yes, I tried two things. I made an instrument with snap sounds and clap sounds because I'm usually too lazy to like record them, so it's cooler to have them on the go and stuff. And the other thing I tried out is making like an SNES style distorted guitar. That didn't went so well, but it's fine because Plogue, I think is the name pronounced. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. I have a couple of their. It's mostly chip tune stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And they have one for the SNES, and that one's really cool. And you can just put in like wave samples, and it plays them out like the SNES would do. Kind of that. That's really cool to me.
Do you have any kind of background in software programming?
Nope, not at all. I had like a course in high school about it, but I was terrible at it.
When it comes to the game audio, are you ever in the game engine doing anything there, or are you just providing the audio?
Right now, I'm just providing sounds, but I think I want to like try getting a little bit my fingers into it to like know better what works best for other people. Like for the people that I'm working with, I mean, so that you kind of know, okay, this format is the best, or like this works the best with F mod or WYs or stuff like that.
Have you done any? I think they call it adaptive music, where you have different layers that get mixed and matched.
That happened a bunch of times. The one thing I remember right now is a game called um, Future Reality Racing League, which is like a PS1 kind of dystopian racing game. And like in the menus, we kind of you swoop into like different areas of your like digital garage or something like that, and so like different layers play depending on where you are in the menu. Yeah, stuff like that. Oh yeah, and also for another game that I'm working on right now called Everdeep Aurora, which is made by Nautilus Games, and you like to explore like a cave there, and the deeper you go into the cave, the more instruments start playing. So yeah. Yeah, I've done some adaptive music. Yeah.
How many projects are you working on now?
I'm working on like 3 game projects at the moment, and I am also I'm working like on a personal project where I do like some folk music, specifically folk metal and folk electronica kind of things. And yeah, um, that one I'm making with another friend, or two friends. One who is the artist who takes care of the cover and everything, called Cleveland. He goes by Artman Cometh, and I have another friend who just does some female vocals, called Abby Smith, or goes by Scruncho, and like that. I cannot do female vocals myself, so it's always cool to bring somebody in who's able to do that and really like enrich the music with like a new angle too. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier, right? That jamming right now can look a lot different than it used to be. Yeah.
When it comes to improving as a composer and a sound designer, do you like an instrument where you have
Yeah.
to intentionally sit down and practice? Do you do anything like that, or do you give yourself any exercises?
I have a friend who gives me actually exercises. That was like the guy I was talking earlier about, a boy with a balloon. He's like a theory crack and like a composing crack, and like he says like, "Oh, have you ever tried out this thing and like this thing?" I did like a lot more exercises like a couple of years ago, where I would like give myself the task of dissecting a melody, and then like seeing what rules this melody follows, and then trying to make a melody myself that would follow those rules. Stuff like that.
Do you think that that is worth the time, or
Mm-hmm.
if you just focused on writing music over and over, what would you choose?
I don't regret doing it the way that I did, so I would recommend it, trying it out. The thing is, when you do stuff like that, you also kind of realize that your perception of things has limits, or just following a set of rules is not gonna cut it always. You can still create something really crappy, with like following the theory correctly, and stuff like that. Yeah.
When it comes to networking, do
Yeah.
you do any intentional networking to meet people?
I did that all a lot more back in the day, like a couple of years ago. I actually want to like try it out again and like find new connections and stuff. Um, like I like all the friends that I've met and the coworkers that I have, but there's like certain scratches, that itches that I have to scratch for myself. Like I would really like to work on like something, soundtrack wise, that is kind of JRPG adjacent, things like that, or like a shoot 'em up. While I have a friend who wanted to do a shoot 'em up next. He's doing like a pinball game right now. Um, yeah.
Speaking of things you want to do in the future,
Yeah.
do you have kind of big goals? Do you want to start a studio? Do you want to do film music? Do you have any other aspirations?
I actually just want to keep doing what I'm doing. Just like exploring different angles of the same thing, kind of. I mean, film music also sounds cool. To do something like that. I think like a bucket list item would definitely be that I would record music with a real orchestra, because right now everything's going through Contact and stuff, and I love Contact, but it is also a real performance can really elevate things.
Have you generated or written sheet music before?
Yes, but that was like also a couple of years ago. Right now, I'm much more proficient at like reading a MIDI roll, than I am at reading sheet music at the moment.
And you're open for work if anybody out there watching is interested in
Mhm.
hitting you up for work.
Yes,
Where should they go? Where are the best places to check out your work and contact you?
I guess like SoundCloud would be the best way to check out my work. And I have a card webpage that's also with my name, Viktor Kraus. There you can check out more of my work and stuff.
And X as well, which is where I found you.
And X as well. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I also started using Blue Card a couple of weeks ago, but like Blue Card doesn't let you upload like over a certain amount of size regarding music stuff or video stuff. So I still gotta get my way around that with my video editing software and stuff. Yeah. No, but X is a fine way. And I think on X, I also have my Discord listed. So people can also just go over there and reach out over there if they want. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we go, is there anything else you want to share or plug or any parting advice for anybody out there?
Just don't think about too much about if it's good what you're doing at the beginning. Just embrace the process. Yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
what I would say.
Well, Victor, thanks for taking the time today. It was really great to chat with you and
Yeah,
get
thank
your
you.
insights. And I wish you luck on everything you do.
Thank you. You too.